Dear students, welcome to the video lesson. In today's class, we will be learning about cell, structure and functions. You have already learned that things around us are either living or non-living. Further, you may recall that all living organisms carry out certain basic functions. Different sets of organs perform various functions. Robert Hooke in 1665 examined the thin slice of cork through self-designed microscope. He took thin slices of cork and observed them under a microscope. He noticed partition boxes or compartments in the cork slice. These boxes appeared like a honeycomb. He also noticed that one box was separated from the other by a wall or partition. Who coined the term cell for each box? Cells of living organisms could be observed only after the discovery of improved microscope. Dear students, both bricks in a building and cells in the living organisms are basic structural units. The buildings, though built of similar bricks, have different designs, shapes and sizes. Similarly, in the living world, organisms differ from one another, but all are made up of cells. Cells in the living organisms are complex living structures unlike non-living bricks. Organisms show variety in number of cells, shape of cells and size of cells. There are millions of living organisms. They are of different shapes and sizes. Their organs also vary in shape, size and number of cells. Let us learn one after the other. First, let us take how organisms show variety based on number of cells. Can you guess the number of cells in a tall tree or a huge animal like the elephant? The number runs into billions and trillions. Human body has trillions of cells which vary in shapes and sizes. Different groups of cells perform a variety of functions. So based on the number of cells, organisms can be classified as unicellular organism and multicellular organisms. Here are the examples for unicellular organism and multicellular organism. Amoeba, paramecium. Unicellular organisms example are amoeba and paramecium. Humans are example for multicellular organisms. As you all can see in this image, how different organs are made up of different types of cells, different types of tissues. Cells make tissue, tissues make up organ, organ forms the organ system to a whole organism. Let us learn more about unicellular organisms as we have already seen in the previous examples. Unicellular organisms are organisms that are made up of only one cell. Bacteria, unicellular yeast, amoeba, paramecium, all these belongs to unicellular organisms. All these are examples for unicellular organisms. Multicellular organisms, as the name itself indicates, are made up of many cells, more than one cell or many cells. Multicellular organisms are the organisms that are made up of many cells. two or more cells in the sense it can be many cells. These organisms are able to be seen with the naked eye. These organisms need all parts of itself to survive. Human beings, trees, animals, all are examples for multicellular organism. Let us move on and learn the variety. Since organisms show variety in cell number, now let us see how organisms show variety based on shape of cell. Dear students, observe this given image. There is an organism. Observe it carefully and see how this organism is changing its shape. Can you identify which organism is this? This is a unicellular organism called amoeba. Here you can see that amoeba has no definite shape. Unlike other organisms, it keeps on changing its shape. See here how it is changing the shape. Observe the projections. You can see the projections here. Observe these projections of varying length protruding out of its body. See how it is producing these projections. These projections are called as pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia is feet, false feet or false foot. These projections appear and disappear as amoeba moves or feeds. Dear students, the change in shape is due to formation of pseudopodia which facilitates movement and helps in capturing food as we have seen in amoeba. Here, observe this given image. These are WBC, white blood cells, white blood corpuscles or white blood cells. So this macrophages are a type of white blood cells as what you are seeing in this image are present in human blood. So these WBC or white blood cells in human blood is another example of a single cell which can change its shape. But while WBC, this white blood corpuscles or WBC is a cell, but amoeba is a full-fledged organism capable of independent existence. In the same way, different cells such as blood, RBC, as you can see in this image, these are RBC, blood cells. RBC, you can observe the shape of this cell. This is a muscle cell. Muscles, the cells that form our muscles. See how it is, see the shape, it is tubular myofibers. So these are muscle cells. Simultaneously you can observe this picture. These are nerve cells. See how it is elongated, long structure. So these are nerve cells or neurons. Don't you think the shape is different? As you have seen here, these are muscle fibers which form bundle-like elongated structure. These are concave structures, cells of blood that are concave in shape, and here WBC, red blood cell, muscles and neuron. See the shape of these cells. These cells are having different shapes and they perform their own specific functions. Generally, cells are round, spherical or elongated. Some cells are long and pointed at both ends. They exhibit a spindle shape. Cells sometimes are quite long. Some are branched like you have seen here in this nerve cell or neuron. The nerve cells receive and transfers messages, thereby helping to control and coordinate the working of different parts of the body. Dear students, can you guess which part of the cells gives its shape? Components of the cell are enclosed in a membrane. This membrane provides a shape to the cell. Cell wall is an additional covering over the cell membrane in plant cell. Let us move on for the size of cells. The size of cells in living organism may be as small as a millionth of a meter or may be as large as a few centimeters. However, most of the cells are microscopic in nature. They are microscopic in size and are not visible to the unaided eye. They need to be enlarged or magnified by a microscope. The smallest cell is 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer as in the case of bacteria, and the largest cell, this is the largest cell of an ostrich. This varies about, as you can see in this image, it varies about 170 mm into 130 mm. So this is the largest cell and it is an egg of an ostrich. This is a single cell. See, this ostrich egg is a single cell, but how large it is. So we have cells that are very minute. We can observe only with the help of microscope, and we have a single cell and it is so large that can be seen easily and hold in the hand. This is the ostrich egg and it is the example for the largest egg. The egg of a hen represents a single cell and is big enough to be seen by the unaided eye. You might have observed the hen's egg. Easily you can see, you can hold it, but it is a single cell. In your textbook, they have given a simple activity. You can go through that activity 11.2. You might have boiled an hen's egg many a time. As you remove the shell, what do you observe? You see a white material surrounds the yellow part, isn't it? This white material is albumin which solidifies on boiling. The yellow part is the yolk. It is part of the single cell. If we are eating an egg, we are eating a single cell. Dear students, the size of the cell has no relation with the size of the body of the animal or plant. It is not necessary that the cells in the elephant be much bigger than those in a rat. The size of the cell is related to its function. For example, nerve cells both in elephant and rat are long and branched as you have seen in the previous image. They perform the same function, that of transferring messages. You have studied in class 7 about the digestive organ, the skeletal system. In class 6 you have studied about the skeletal system. In class 7 you have studied about the digestive system. So human body is made up of so many organ systems. So in this picture you can see the skeletal system. So this bone system or skeletal system is made up of a special cells called bone cells. Many bone cells form tissue and it forms an organ, that is a bone skeletal system. Simultaneously here you can observe human body consists of muscular system, respiratory system, digestive system and so on. Here is the image. In this image you can see respiratory system performing its definite function of exchanging the gases. In the same way, in plants you can see roots help in the absorption of water and minerals. See here how roots with the help of root hairs help in the absorption of water and minerals. In the same way, here in this image you can see how the water is transported to different, it is absorbed and transported, and finally how the excess water is removed out, is given out to the atmosphere in the form of water vapor through the aerial part of the plant, that is the leaves. The excess of water is given out to the atmosphere through the aerial part of the plant leaves. This process is termed as transpiration. Excess of water is coming out, as you can see here, through the stomata. So this special system is found both in plants and in animals. Each organ is further made up of smaller parts called tissue. A tissue is a group of similar cells performing a specific function. Dear students, you can see here how bricks are important to construct the walls, and from walls we make different divisions in the house, and finally we construct a house. We get a planned and complete home. In the same way, cells, group of cells form tissue, group of similar tissue with similar structure and function form organ, and organs arranged in a definite manner forms organ system, and there is a whole organism. Organ system helps to give rise to an organism. In the same way, in organism there should be organ system. Organ system is formed with the help of organs. Organs are formed by tissues. Tissues are formed by the division of cells. Cell in the living organism is the basic structural and functional unit. Let us now learn about the parts of the cell. The basic components of a cell are cell membrane or plasma membrane, cytoplasm, and nucleus. In addition to cell membrane, cell wall is present in plant cell. Cell wall is the outer thick layer. It gives protection against variation in temperature, high wind, speed, atmospheric moisture, and so on. You can observe the image here. In this image, you are seeing the plant cell and animal cell. Towards your left is the plant cell and towards your right is the animal cell. So observe carefully and try to identify the cell wall. Here is the cell wall. I am moving the cursor. Here is the cell wall. And just below the cell wall there is a cell membrane. And the fluid what you are noticing here is a cytoplasm and nucleus. So these are the important components of cell. In the same way here, observe the animal cell. This is the animal cell. Here there is no cell wall. There is a cell membrane. Cell membrane is present both in animal cell and plant cell. In plant cell, in addition to the cell membrane, there is cell wall. But in animal cell, there is no cell wall. There is a cell membrane or plasma membrane. The fluid here, what you are seeing is cytoplasm and a prominent nucleus. Dear students, you can observe these important components easily by preparing a slide. So let us learn how to prepare a slide using an onion peel. You can observe cell membrane, cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus easily by preparing your own onion slide, by preparing onion slide on your own by using some materials like this. Let us see how to prepare it. To prepare this you need a onion, forceps, strain, methylene blue or safranin, then slide and cover slip, a mounting needle. These are the materials required. So in order to observe the basic component of the cell, we have to take one onion bulb, remove the dry pink covering peels. Now we can easily separate these from the fleshy white layer of the bulb with the help of forceps, or even with our hand we can do this. We can also break the onion bulb and separate out thin layers. You can observe here. We can remove this thin layer out and place a small piece of this thin onion peel in a drop of with the help of a drop of water on a glass slide. We have to place this thin slice of onion layer on the glass slide and we have to drop water. The thin layer can be cut into smaller pieces also. Then we have to add a drop of methylene blue. Then carefully cover it with the help of a cover slip. We should take care that there should be no air bubble. When we observe this, we can see the structure like this. So the onion peel slide is ready. Now you can observe the structure. So when you observe this onion peel slide, you can easily find out cell wall. Then inner to the cell wall there is a cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Still more clear image. Here you can see the onion slide which is prepared will show you this following components: cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. You can observe clearly these important components. Dear students, here is one more image of a cell wall. So this is found in plants. So this is cell wall and this is cell membrane. See how rigid and strong it is. Next, let us move on for the cell membrane. Cell membrane, it forms the boundary and separates cell from one another and also from the surrounding medium. It is porous in nature and allows the movement of certain substances or materials in and out, inward and outward. So this is the image of a cell membrane. Cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? It is a jelly-like, cytoplasm is a jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. Various other components or organelles of the cell are also present in the cytoplasm. You can observe here, this is the cytoplasm. It is jelly-like substance present between the cell membrane and the nucleus. Nucleus is here, cell membrane is here. In between the cell membrane and nucleus there is a fluid. There is a jelly-like substance. So this jelly-like substance is called as cytoplasm. There are many organelles, as you can observe here. There are many organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi complex, endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, vacuoles, ribosomes, etc. So these organelles are floating in the cytoplasm. These organelles are present in this jelly-like substance called cytoplasm. Next important component is the nucleus. Nucleus is an important component of the living cell. It is generally spherical and located in the center of the cell. It can be stained and seen easily with the help of the microscope. As now you have seen when you have prepared the onion slide, you have easily found how dark rounded structure which is present in the cell. The center of the cell is nothing but nucleus. Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a nuclear membrane. This is the nuclear membrane. This membrane is also porous and allows the movement of materials between the cytoplasm and inside of the nucleus. So this layer allows certain materials to move inside the nucleus. With a microscope of higher magnification, we can see smaller spherical body in the nucleus. It is called as nucleolus. In addition, nucleus contains thread-like structures called chromosomes. So now you can't see these chromosomes, but during the time of cell division, you can easily observe these chromosomes. This chromosome carry genes and help in inheritance or transfer of characters from parents to the offspring. Nucleus, in addition to its role in inheritance, acts as control center, controlling and coordinating center of all the activities of the cell. The entire content of a living cell is known as protoplasm. It includes cytoplasm and nucleus. Cytoplasm and nucleus together is said as protoplasm. Protoplasm is called the living substance of the cell. Dear students, observe this image. Here in this image you can see this is a bacterial cell. The nucleus, observe the nucleus here. Can you find any rounded definite structure here? No. There is no rounded, central rounded definite nucleus here. The nucleus of the bacterial cell, as you can see here, is not well organized like the cell of multicellular organism. See here, this is the nucleus. See how well it is organized? But here, there is no such nucleus. There is no nuclear membrane. Can you find any nucleus and nuclear membrane here? No. The cells have nuclear material without nuclear membrane. This is the nuclear material, DNA. But this DNA is open. It is not enclosed in a nuclear membrane. Such a cell is termed as prokaryotic cell. And the organisms which have this type of nucleus is termed nucleoid. We call it as nucleoid. And such organisms who do not possess a definite nucleus are termed as prokaryotes. Pro, primitive, karyon, nucleus. Examples for such organisms are, examples for prokaryotes are bacteria and blue-green alga. Dear students, observe this given image. This is the diagram of plant cell. You can see here there is a cell wall, cell membrane, and inside there is a cytoplasm, nucleus and a large vacuole. In the cytoplasm, you can observe Golgi apparatus. These are the organelles present in the cytoplasm. You can observe Golgi apparatus, chloroplast, rapid crystals, Draws crystals, mitochondrion, then starch grains, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi vesicles, ribosomes. And if you observe this nucleus, you can see this nucleus is pushed to one corner. And there is a large vacuole at the center. Nucleus contains nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, nucleolus, and there will be a chromatin network. So this is the diagram of plant cell. And here, this is the diagram of image of animal cell. As you have seen in the previous one, here there is a cell wall, cell membrane. But when you see the animal, here there is no cell wall. There is only cell membrane, cytoplasm and nucleus. Observe the nucleus here, it is pushed to one corner. But observe the nucleus here, it is present at the center. So these are some of the important prominent differences which you can notice between plant cell and animal cell. So here there is a cell membrane, cytoplasm, nucleus. And in the cytoplasm there are many organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, then microtubules, ribosomes, then smooth endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi vesicles, lysosome, pinocytic vesicles, etc. So these are the organelles, and along with this, very important, that is centriole. So there is just below the nucleus there are centrioles, and it is 2 in number. 2 centrioles are present, but this is not found in the plant cell. You don't find any centriole here. Dear children, now let us learn the difference between, just now in the previous slide we have seen the image of plant cell and animal cell. Now let us learn the difference between these two. Observe this given image and try to find some difference. Here cell wall is present in plant cell. In animal cell there is no cell wall. The vacuole is so big. Large vacuole is seen in plant cell, but here in animal cell there is no such large vacuole. If the vacuoles are present, they are very small. Then in plant cell, nucleus is pushed to one corner, but in animal cell, nucleus is prominent at the center. In plant cell there are no centrioles, but in animal cell there are centrioles. In plant cell we find a green organelle, that is chloroplast. The organelles that give green color to the plant leaf, and also it helps in the photosynthesis. So these organelles are present in plant cell, but we don't find such organelles in the animal cell. Try to find more difference and write the given homework. I have included this question in your homework book. Try to find the difference between plant cell and animal cell and complete your given work. Here let us list out the difference. Plant cell have plastids or chloroplast, but animal cell do not have the plastids. Plant cell have cell wall, but animal cell do not have cell wall. Plant cell there is a large central vacuole, but in animal cell there is temporary small vacuoles, and if they are present it is very small. Plant cells have plasmodesmata. What is plasmodesmata? It is the connection, small microscopic connection between the plant cell from one cell to another cell. So from one cell wall to another cell wall there is a small channels or connections. So these small channels or connections from cell to cell through cell wall in plants is called as plasmodesmata. But there is no such connections in animal cell. Plant cell we did not observe any centriole, but in animal cell they have paired centrioles within centrosome. They do not have cholesterol in cell membrane. Both have cell membrane, but there is no cholesterol in plant cell. In plant cell membrane, but cholesterol is present in animal cell membrane. It is made up of lipids. So cholesterol is present in animal cell membrane. Plants store excess glucose in the form of starch, but animals store excess glucose as glycogen. Animal cells store excess glucose as glycogen. Generally, plant cells have fixed regular shape, and animal cells are generally oval, or they do not have a regular shape. Now let us take some homework question. First question is, draw a neat label diagram of plant cell. Second question, write the difference between plant cell and animal cell. Third question, write short notes on cytoplasm. And sub-question 2, nucleus of cell. Thank you. Have a nice day.